it is because you have changed. You are no longer available for those frequencies in the way you once were. And so the old fear grid collapses, not through force, but through mismatch. Reality can only reflect what is active vibrationally, and because more of you are aligned with inner truth, the external expression must restructure itself to match that truth. This is how evolution works in a vibrational universe, not through overthrowing what exists, but through rising beyond it until it can no longer hold you. Fear grows in the absence of inner connection. This has always been true on your world, and it is true for each individual. When you are listening to the inner voice, your intuition, your knowing, your moment-to-moment felt sense of who you are, fear cannot dominate your experience. It may arise as a passing vibration, but it cannot take root within you. Fear requires your disconnection. It requires that you forget the presence within you that guides, that reassures, that orients you toward expansion. And so, throughout human history, the most effective way to amplify fear has been to distract individuals from that inner clarity. You have been trained to ask others what is happening, what is safe, what is allowed, what is possible. You have been trained to give priority to external facts, external rules, external opinions, even when they contradict what you feel. And because of this training, many of you learned to override the very guidance system that would have kept you steady and open during periods of change. The inner voice never disappears, but when attention is habitually directed outward, the volume of that inner voice seems to fade. This is why fear feels so large in those moments, because you cannot hear the one voice that is always guiding you toward alignment. You are left with only the loudest sounds of the world, and those sounds often emphasize threat and urgency. This creates a loop of dependency. The more you look outward for assurance, the more disoriented you feel internally, and the more reliant you become on systems that do not actually hold your well-being at the center of their design. But all of that is changing now because you are becoming more sensitive, and sensitivity reawakens the inner guidance system. You cannot numb your feelings the way you once could. You cannot silence your intuition the way earlier generations did. Your bodies respond more quickly now when something is out of alignment. Your emotions move more strongly when you ignore your inner knowing. Your nervous systems feel the difference immediately between external noise and internal truth. This rising sensitivity is not a burden. It is your liberation from the old dependency loops. It means that you cannot easily ignore what you feel, and that is a gift. It means that fear will no longer be able to grow unchecked inside you, because the moment you disconnect from yourself, you will feel the discomfort of that disconnection so clearly that you will naturally return to your center. You are learning, as a collective, to trust your inner voice again. You are remembering that clarity does not come from analysis alone, but from alignment. And as more of you choose to listen inwardly, before reacting, before deciding, before believing, fear loses its structure. It cannot survive in a field where the inner light is acknowledged and prioritized. This is why many of you feel that fear is becoming easier to detect, easier to understand, and easier to release. Your sensitivity is dissolving the old patterns, and you are reclaiming the connection that was always meant to guide you.